Anderson Cooper interview. On rewatching, I got a lot more out of this one. Anderson Cooper's reading from Prince Harry's book Spare, and he's reading the passage where Harry describes that William is losing his looks and no longer looks as much like his mother, and his baldness more alarming than my own. You know the bit. And the camera goes to Harry, and he gets this really derisive sort of smirky, sneery smile on the balding comment. And it was quite transparently mean. And then Anderson Cooper said, well, that was pretty cutting. I'm paraphrasing, but he says that was cutting. And Harry goes, what? That was cutting? And he acts so shocked and so surprised. And then he says, well, my brother and I love each other very much. Well, you did at one stage, Harry. And I never intended anything in the book to hurt anyone in my family. Well, intentions are a very fine thing, and intentions do matter. But the unfortunate thing with books is you can't read intention unless it's stated. So those words on that page, Harry, they were cutting. So Anderson Cooper brings up about the fact that Harry mentioned in the book that he at times didn't really believe that his mother had died and that she was hiding out somewhere and that would come to get them. And that's just heartbreaking. But he asks Harry about it. And Harry's first words out of his mouth to that question was, well, she would never do that to us. And at first I thought, because Anderson mentioned the accident, that he meant that she would never do that to us, have the accident. And then I realised on rewatching, and I thought, well, that's weird. And then I realised on rewatching he was referring to the fact that she would never hide out and put them through all that pain, etc. But that did bring up something for me, that he doesn't express himself very well, and often the things that he says can be misinterpreted. He's not very good at communicating clearly. And it makes you think that he really shouldn't be doing this because he's not very good at it. I'm not saying he shouldn't say what he thinks or he shouldn't put his story out there in the book if he wants to. But as far as press junkets and things like that for the book, it's almost like he needs a minder to say, oh, no, you don't mean that, Harry. No, you don't mean that. You mean this. Because he's just not good at expressing himself clearly and getting the right message across. Now, all the research and all the books I've read have led me to believe that William's concern about Harry marrying Meghan was about the fact that she was scared that she wouldn't be able to handle it, that it would all be too much, and that there was too much about her for the press to attack. And it turns out he was right. He was being a good older brother, expressing his concerns and saying, just take a bit more time, just wait, because you don't realise what's coming at you. And Harry taking offence at that is, just really quite stupid, because if he had waited, maybe they'd still be part of the royal family, because they could have sorted a lot of all of this out. When he's asked about William saying that to him, Harry skips to the fact that there were concerns that she was American, she was an actress, she was biracial. And then Anderson Cooper said, your family were concerned about those concerns. And Harry said, well, the tabloid media, were attacking her. And my family read the tabloids every morning at breakfast. The other big moment in the Anderson Cooper interview was the silence is betrayal comment. That when people are attacking Meghan in the media, that the palace being silent, it makes them complicit with what the awful things that are being said, he says. And I can sort of understand that, because as a normal person, if someone attacks our families, well, we would have a go back, wouldn't we? If someone had a go at our loved ones, well, we tend to speak up and stick up for them and would have a go back. I mean, it's just human nature. So Harry's wanting that from the royal family, but there's it's a little hypocritical because when it's true, when Catherine was going through it and when Fergie was going through it, and she really went through it, and when Camilla was going through it, well, no one did stick up for them or say anything. So it's not that silence is betrayal, it's that silence is the policy. And Harry's turning that into something personal against him and Meghan, and that's not really true. It's convenient and it would garner him a lot of sympathy, but it's not really the true situation. Now, the big moment in the Anderson Cooper interview was when Anderson Cooper said, "Why don't you renounce your titles?" And Prince Harry said, "Well, what difference would that make?" And he was very arrogant. He was very cold when he asked that question. And Anderson Cooper pretty much froze. Now, I don't think that at that moment he was being weak and not pushing Harry. I think he literally couldn't think of what to say because he wasn't expecting a question back. And I think it would be that moment in hindsight when you think, I should have said this, or I should have said that, or I shouldn't have said this. So I'll answer it for you, Anderson. The reason why you should renounce your titles, Harry, is because they give you a position of power and influence, and they allow you to milk your association with the royal family for money. That is why you should renounce your titles. And I would actually do it before they were taken away. I would be on the front foot with that one. Leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think. Tell me your impressions of the Anderson Cooper interview. I expected to really slam that one, but he did actually ask some tough questions, but in that sort of mild Anderson Cooper sort of way. But I really enjoyed when he said about him being cutting towards William, and I really enjoyed him asking him why he didn't renounce his titles. I enjoyed those questions. What about you? See you again very soon. Bye.